One of our donors, Rebecca, shared, "As a flight attendant, I love listening to Border Radio when I'm home in Yuma, but the best part is I can take it with me on the app when I'm away. Border Radio lets me carry a piece of home wherever I go." Join listeners like Rebecca by visiting donate.borderradioaz.org and contribute today.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we are going to be joined by Romeo Ponce, a local fighter who just went pro.
Oh, wow. And did he knock someone out in 42 seconds or something?
Yes. So he is a boxer at a Yuma Fight Academy.
Wow.
And I covered his first fight, and it was really cool. And he's
really short.
Really short, yeah, really short fight. And he has another fight coming up, so we're going to talk to him more about that.
Cool.
So stay with us for What's Up Yuma Radio, beginning right here on KOFA 94.7 FM.
And streaming right now online through the KAWC YouTube and Border Radio Facebook pages. And send us an email to whatsupyumaradio@kawc.org.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma Electric Service, LLC, serving the Yuma area for more than 25 years. YumaElectricServiceLLC.com.
Chili from Philly. Unique Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of the What's Up Yuma radio show. I'm Johnny.
And I'm Ronnie.
And on today's program, we are joined by a young man, a bunch of talent, and we're going to find out where that talent came from and what he wants to be when he gets older, okay?
Well, he's only 19.
He's 19.
He's such a baby.
Yeah, he's a baby, and he's getting into a sport where you get hit a lot. And that's what we're going to be talking about.
He wakes up every day knowing I'm going to get hit in the face today.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You got to be a tough person to do that. And I'm talking about Romeo Ponce. Welcome to the show, Romeo.
Hi, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Really cool. I got to hang out with you a few days before your first professional fight. You had some amateur fights, but you were about to go in to take it to the next level. Your first fight, I was able to do something on the What's Up Yuma Instagram page. Cool. And you went in and you knocked the guy out. What, we teased it like 42 seconds?
Is that right?
Or like, but you dropped him earlier than that.
I dropped him in 26 seconds. So I dropped him in 26, and then the official time was 42
Get a little bit
seconds.
closer to the mic or bring it to you. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so the official time was 42 seconds.
Oh.
So, and how does that work real quick? Because you dropped them at a certain time, but it takes a while for the ref to do it. You're like, hurry, ref.
Yeah,
Every second counts.
Yeah.
I don't really understand how it works because if I dropped him at 26 seconds, it's a 10-second count. It should really be 36 seconds.
We're good. We're doing math here. So get on that talent.
I can't math, you guys.
Yeah, so I don't know how that works, but yeah, so I don't care. As long as I got the victory, I was
In less
really
than
happy.
a minute, man.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, 3 punches, I think.
Wow.
Wow, that is great. And so we kind of started at the end there, but let's work our way back to how old were you when you first stepped into a boxing gym? Then you said, okay, I want to do this.
I was 5 years old. I was really young. I mean, I saw it on TV in movies, and I knew I was drawn to it, and that's what I knew I wanted to do. So I told my parents, like, I want to box. So they took me to the boxing gym, and I just fell in love with it.
Well, your mom, she sent us this bio of you. She's here in the corner, just watching her
we
stare
put her
at
in the,
you.
Yeah,
She's
we put
so
her in the
proud
corner.
of
No,
you.
she is very proud.
Like,
She's very
it's
proud.
beautiful to see such family support. But she said at 3, you stated, I'm going to be a world champion.
Yeah.
Already at 3, you knew that.
And that's because you were your family. She loves boxing. She told me she's a big boxing fan. So you watched it, and then you said, "Okay, I want to do that."
It.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know why, but I've never been drawn to baseball, basketball, baseball a little bit, because of my family. They all play baseball. But I think boxing, I've always been drawn to it, and knowing that it's me in there, and that it's a one-man sport. And if I win, it's because of me. If I lose, it's because of me. So
you got nobody else to blame.
I got nobody
to blame
but myself. So that part, and me, I'm really competitive, and just driving to be better is something part of me, and it's unexplainable, to be honest.
So your mom mentioned, we were talking a little bit off air, born a little premature.
Yeah.
And I can relate. My son, Micah, born a little premature, but he's a fighter. So it's almost like birthed into you to be that fighter.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Since I was little, just always had that spirit in fighting, and I just love it.
So your bio too says you have like some family history tied to boxing.
I'm not sure how far it goes back pretty far though. I guess
It's like the 1920s
yeah,
or
like
30s.
the 20s, 30s. You know, they were all boxers, all fighters, and one of them he actually trained Billy Orta. So Orta was. I believe the first boxing trainer in Yuma.
Yeah, I think he's a long legacy. A lot of people know who he is.
Yeah, so
trained under him.
Yeah, so it's just weird. It's a coincidence that you know now I'm here and trying to take it to the next level.
Yep.
Yeah. So what was it like? Do you remember being a kid entering the gym for the first time with Gary over there?
Yeah, so I remember just walking in and seeing all the people. I mean, there was a class, so there was the kids doing the workouts, and then I would look at the people that were really good, and they were just hitting the bags and doing themselves. Like, man, I want to get to that level. Like, I don't want to be doing these workouts. I want to.
So already
I'm already advanced. Let's
Already
go.
you're in there. You're like, okay, I don't want to do these anymore. I want to do that. I want to hit that bag
I
over
just
there.
wanna-
I want to hit that person over there.
Yeah, yeah, I know it's funny, but yeah, since I was little, that's what I wanted to do, and I looked up to that, and that's the point I wanted to get to already. And I was really natural too, as like lots of people struggle, and with their footwork and putting their punches together. To me, it flowed, and it just came super naturally.
So how important is that footwork?
Footwork's really important. You know, you got to cut off the ring. You got to. There's sometimes could be a guy that's just rushing at you, and you got to get out the way. So that's one thing I focus on, and that's what I believe I have really good footwork. So
Well, I'm no pro like you, but I was telling him I did some workouts at home, and I was shocked to understand how much boxing is really lower body. It's hips, it's foot movement, it's learning all of that. So I thought it's not punching, it is, but you have to get the strength behind your punch.
you gotta work it all. You gotta work your whole body out. You
It's
know,
awesome.
You're getting hit everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
There's been times I've been hitting the leg too. So
Ouch.
What? Hitting the leg?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
okay.
You gotta prepare everything. You gotta do the workouts. You know, unfortunately, like I said, like,
Yeah.
you got to do them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just gotta prepare your body physically and mentally as well, because you know it sucks going in there knowing that you're gonna get hit. So. But yeah, no, it's weird. Like I said, weird, but I've been drawn to it.
So at that young age, did Gary see that motivation, that fighting spirit in you at a young age, or did you have to really go in there and prove yourself?
I think he did. You know, to be honest, when I first went in, he instantly started working with me. I remember him already doing the mitts with me, and I was in there for a short period of time. So I just remember him doing the slip rope, the mitts, and working with me. And then, unfortunately, I had some grade problems, and my parents pulled me out. But
So how long were you in there before the grade problem
I was
started?
probably in there for maybe about 2 months, month and a half.
Oh,
not
that's
long.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
It wasn't that long, but
So why did your grade slip? Because you were more in love with the boxing?
I think that had something to do with it. But also, I've never been a school person.
Yeah.
You know, it's something I was never drawn to. I remember like school. You know, I would be at school and I would be like,
I should be
what?
doing something else.
I should be doing
Daydreaming
something
of
else.
You
boxing.
sound like
you were daydreaming of
I
boxing.
have a
was.
7-year-old that every day is like, why do we need school?
No, yeah,
like, what
literally.
is the
I
point,
would
Mom?
be at school and the Chromebooks they would give us,
Yeah.
I would be watching boxing highlights or
Wow.
something like this. Like I would want to go home and just
Yeah.
all right, like on a
Yeah.
box already. Like let me go to the gym.
So, and I believe the story goes, your mom pulled you out to get your grades up
Yeah.
from your passion because she knew that would hurt worse than getting a spanking or something like that.
Yeah,
or,
no,
you know.
so-
Spankings don't work for boxers?
Yeah, no,
so
no.
They took me out. I was little and I did good. You know, I drove back. I pushed more in school for about. I think it took me to about first grade
Okay, yeah.
A year.
to
Yeah.
finally get it. But
Okay.
then they put me back, but it wasn't boxing this time. It was MMA.
Yeah, so it was jujitsu or something,
Yeah, so
or
it was
like
jiu-jitsu, boxing, wrestling. It was just all of it, you know. And again, I fell in love with that. But boxing was always my passion, you know. I always liked the striking part the most. But I became really good at the jiu-jitsu, the wrestling part. And then again, you know, my grades are slipping up, and I was having trouble with school, so they had to take me out again.
Oh,
So did you do like online homeschool then?
No. So it was I would still go to school, but
Okay.
you know my grades just never improved, you know. And I was in and out probably out from first grade to third grade, and then fourth grade just hit, and that was a tough year.
Uh-huh.
So you know I couldn't figure out whatever it was, and I was like, man, I kept pushing. You know, at this time too, I was getting a little chubby.
Uh-huh.
I was
Yeah.
getting a little chubby. And I wasn't really doing nothing at home. I would literally just go to school, go home, hop on the video game.
Oh.
And then that was it. So finally around 6th grade, I was like, man, I gotta do something. So I pushed myself in school, you know, to drive just to go do something again. So my parents would allow me to. And that's when they decided, like, okay, we'll put you back in jiu-jitsu. So I did that for about 4 years, but
it wasn't your passion still.
Nah,
There was
yeah.
something that
It kept you active.
It kept you active. It maybe helps you be in shape and get some of those. But you were dreaming about being in that ring again.
yeah, like just being in the ring, like I said, it's a different feeling. You know, when you walk in there and you have the crowd surrounding you and people cheering your name and you're dodging, weaving punches, like it's just fun. It's an adrenaline rush that I can't explain.
So do you feel like the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu like set you up for a better boxing career? Maybe more flexible?
I think so. You know,
Okay.
I've always been very athletic, and so I do think that helped a lot. Also, I remember I had my first ever jiu-jitsu tournament, and I lost. Like, I remember losing.
You're
And I remember-
competitive.
Yeah, so I remember losing, and I came like 2nd or 3rd, and I just remember that feeling of losing. I was like, man, I don't ever want to feel that again.
Yeah.
So I took that into my boxing. You know, so I
Smart.
knew that I never wanted to lose again, and since then I haven't lost.
Wow.
So what was your amateur career like? You're boxing, you're training, you're good enough to get into the amateurs. What was your first fight like going into that ring for that first time?
I was really nervous but it took a little nerves off because the guy I fought, you know, I sparred him in the past and I did well against him, so that took some of the nerves off. But I remember going in there and I was fighting like I've never fought. Like
Something took over.
something took over,
Oh, okay.
but in a bad way, I believe.
Okay. well,
Like, you know, just
They're like, don't kill him.
I'm sure other boxers will relate, but sparring, you know, working out at the gym and fighting at the gym is completely different than being in the ring. So when I got in that ring, I was just throwing punches. I was kind of
Oh, so you
You were
weren't
kinda
as
going wild.
I wasn't
The
as
skill,
sharp. Yeah,
the
I wasn't as
skill.
sharp. I wasn't
Okay.
as skilled because in the amateurs, that's all it is. It's landing, it's landing shots and just throwing a bunch of punches. And I've never liked that personally, but yeah. So that's how that was, and I ended up getting the victory. Thank God. But
You won.
Yeah, I won. That's all that mattered.
That lesson from jiu-jitsu that I never want to lose again,
Yeah.
that stuck with you.
Yes.
Even though you were throwing the haymakers and kind of tossing
All the
them around,
illegal
you know,
shots.
yeah.
I looked like a street fight in there.
Yeah. But still, it's like I don't
You
want to
won.
lose, and you found a
Yeah.
way to win.
Correct.
Yep.
So what about the second fight?
The second fight was in, where was that? Phoenix, I believe Phoenix, and that one was that was probably my hardest fight.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Yeah, so he was a fighter that he ran a lot. He would just circle the ring, and at this point,
So like a defensive fighter?
he was very defensive. Like,
Like he wants to draw you in.
yeah,
to
he would
him.
draw me in, but
Yeah.
that's the thing too. Like, he wouldn't even draw me in. Like, he would run. Like, he wouldn't even
just
punch
run.
me.
He was scared.
Yeah, so at this point, I was always a defensive fighter. I was always find the back foot and pick them off. But I've never experienced something like that where they're the ones on the back foot. So, you know, eventually I got the hang of it. I did my thing and I pulled out the victory. But as soon as I got back to the gym, I started working on cutting off the ring, learning how to fight forward. And
You learned something.
Yeah, I learned
something
Like
from it, yeah.
this is something different. You had to face somebody a little bit similar to yourself. You said that
Yeah.
on the defensive side, and said, "Okay, I got to go back." And you said, "Hey, Gary, what are we going to do about this?"
Yeah.
And Gary's like, "Okay, we're going to teach you how to cut off that ring." And
that's-
how did that up your game?
it sucked it a bunch. You know, after my first fight, I had to learn how to make angles because the guy would just rush at me. So I'd have to learn to get out the way, make an angle, pivot. Second fight, same thing, cut off the ring, going forward this time. So it was completely different. And then after every fight, you know, you learn something. You learn it doesn't matter if it's in the ring or it could be mentally, it could be physically. You learn something from it, and I believe I've learned something from every fight I've had.
Yeah, that's it. It's about learning and getting better and better. And it sounds like that's the road that you've chosen to take. And we're talking a little off air. In your amateur fights, you put out for a lot of fights, but it wasn't always easy to get a fight for
Yeah,
you.
no.
Why was that?
It was super hard, you know. I believe our gym is, I would say, the best in Arizona for a lot of reasons. And, you know, people from California, Arizona, they would come to our gym to spar. You know, they come to our gym to spar. And, you know, they see the Yuma Fight Academy name. They see Romeo Ponce on the thing, Yuma Fight Academy. And, you know, they back out. They make up reasons to not fight me. Or they've seen me fight in the past. So that's just, something to do with it. It's just, it sucks, but that's the way it is.
I was gonna say, is that frustrating for you?
It's always been.
'Cause you're like, I want to fight.
So you kind of wanted to have a bigger amateur career, but you couldn't.
Yeah, it was hard for me too, and that's what pushed me to going pro. And like I said, I should have over 20 fights. Like
you should have that many, but people would see, okay, I know that guy. I saw him spar over at Yuma Fight Academy. I know what he could do, and I know what he could do to me, so it's not going to happen.
Yeah, so that's what really pushed me to being pro, and I've always had the pro style since the beginning. I've always said my goal is not to be the best amateur in the world; it's to be the best pro world champion. So I didn't want to learn that amateur style, and then because they're completely two different things.
And I didn't even know that. I had no idea. But
So amateurs, like I said, it's points, throwing as many punches as you can, landing, not even landing. If you're just tapping him with like 1% shots, you're
getting the points.
You're getting points.
You're getting the points.
And the pros, it's a lot more slow. It's a lot more technical, sitting on your shots and just being a better boxer.
Okay, and with that, we are going to come back after a quick break and talk a little bit more about that pro road. Yeah, because now you're a pro. The fight, you can watch it on What's Up Yuma on our Instagram page. I got it up there still. And we're going to talk about that more with Romeo Ponce right here on KOFA 94.7 FM.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by Yuma Electric Service, LLC, serving the Yuma area for more than 25 years. Specializing in residential and commercial wiring, services also include EV charging unit installs and solar-ready service panel upgrades. Information and consultation appointments at yumaelectricservicellc.com.
Coming up this week on High Country Celtic Radio, August 1st marks the Celtic holiday of Lunasa, celebrating summer harvests and maybe even seeing fall in the distant future.
Tune in each week to High Country Celtic Radio from the high deserts of Nevada, where your hosts Joe Bly and me, Katie Marie, bring you tunes and songs from across the 7 Celtic nations and around the world.
Wednesday evening at 7 on KOFA 94.7 FM.
If you are in the process of planning for your estate, please consider including KAWC, KOFA, and other charitable organizations in your will or trust. Gifts to nonprofit organizations in your estate planning can help continue your connection to the causes that are important to you. For information, call us at 877-838-5292.
This is 94.7 FM, KOFA Border Radio. I'm Juan Garcia with the KAWC Newsroom. The weather forecast for Yuma today is sunny with a high near 106 and a west wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 75. The president of the Arizona Senate is trying to undo tax incentives designed to lure Hollywood producers to Arizona. For more details, visit kawc.org/news. Stay tuned for more What's Up Yuma with Johnny and Ronnie on 94.7 FM.
The KAWC Student Newsroom is funded by the Local News Initiative at the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona, the Scripps Howard Fund, and by generous local support. Thank you for supporting the next generation of public media. Learn more about the project and hear stories from emerging journalists at kawc.org/student newsroom.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to the What's Up Yuma radio show. We are here joined by professional boxer Romeo Ponce, and we're talking about his amateur career, but he's not an amateur anymore. He didn't want to be there. He wanted to move up to pro, and you did that here recently. How long ago was your fight, Romeo?
It was on May 30th.
May 30th, your first pro fight. What was it like, that first pro fight? Was it anything different than the amateurs when you walked out and got into that ring?
Yeah, it's like a whole different level, right?
Yeah, it's a completely different level, but to me, it felt so much more natural. Like I belonged there.
Oh, okay.
I love this. You have like this inner knowing. That's what I call it.
You know,
an inner knowing.
I have to say something.
That.
I just saw, I got to mention something. I saw a reel about that, a philosopher talking about that inner knowing. Yep. It's not like an ego. It's not a bad thing. It's, you know where you're supposed to be, and the universe is saying, yes, this is where you're supposed to be, and you felt that.
Yeah, no. So
Since
I'm a big believer in if you could believe it, you could achieve it. If you could see it, it's like just all that, you know.
I got chills right now. Dead serious. I got chills.
He's got goosebumps.
Yeah. So like even like right now, me, I have something when I wake up. The first thing I see in the morning is 2-0. Like so that's the first thing I see.
I love it.
So just putting that in your mind, I it could come to life, and that's what I did with my first fight, and I'm gonna continue doing them with all my fights. Is just knowing I could achieve something, and everything I've ever put my mind to, I've achieved it, and I'm gonna stick with that.
Well, we're gonna have you back when you do become world champ.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I
be like,
hope
remember
so.
our first interview?
It's like, don't forget about us,
No,
man. Don't
remember
forget
us
about us.
forever.
Yeah. But you said it felt like home. It felt like it was natural, where maybe other people would have more jitters. It's like, okay, this is a bigger stage. Now I'm going in on my pro record. You said I'm home.
Yeah, so like I said, it felt super natural. It's pretty much the whole event. I had lots of family, I had friends there. Shout out the fellas. I know they're watching.
Oh, yeah, that's what's up.
Everyone.
But so it just felt super natural. I had my family there, friends there, my team there. Three of my teammates were supposed to fight on that card. Only 2 of them ended up fighting. But it's a feeling like I can't explain. Like, you just go in there, and I did my thing, and like I said, it just felt amazing.
And I don't think it's bad that you weren't nervous, because like we had Chance on. I remember he said he would never got nervous before his matches.
For me, I'm a lot more nervous the day before.
Okay.
Me, I'm super nervous the day before, and I'm thinking, okay, let's see, like I start overthinking things and stuff. But as soon as I wake up that morning, it's all right, I'm gonna win. Like,
it's game time.
It's game time.
Game on.
You gotta flip a switch in your head, knowing that you're gonna win, you're gonna do good things, and you just gotta believe in yourself. And that's what I do.
And you really do believe in yourself. We were talking off air that at one point in time you had an injury that you had to work through, and it was kind of devastating. You got bad news, but you had to go to physical therapy to get past that.
Yeah, so during that time, it happened. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to walk fully again. Wow. And things happen, and man, it's hard. But they told me I might not be able to walk again, right? Or box. And that one was
that's
hard.
soul crushing.
That one was soul crushing. Ever since
Yeah.
I was a little kid, that's all I wanted to do. Man, I was finally doing good at it. And they told me I might not be able to box again. So I said, okay, no, that's not gonna happen.
No, that's not you. That's not your destiny. That's not your
I can't
fate.
let that slide, So I have to. I would go to physical therapy. I would do everything in my power to try to get my my leg to work again. And to this day, I still have some damage to it, but I constantly gotta work.
You got to work because you want to be that champion. So it's almost like a test. Like, how much do you want it?
Yeah, and honestly, it was more hard on me mentally, if anything.
I was gonna say, like, how did you not fall into a depression? Like, because if you're told, oh, I can't use whatever part of my body to fight anymore, then there's no point.
Yeah. So that part, I think I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Which is normal.
I'm not the type of person to open up and speak about it, but I did fall into it. I was, I was sad at the time. I was angry at the time, but boxing always pushed me. So I remember going back about 2 weeks after it happened. I think I went to the gym and they got me a card, and that card just saying, hope you get well soon and stuff like this. And I saw that card to this day.
Wow.
It's put up in one of my bulletin boards in my room, and that just drove me even more, to go back and to fulfill my dream of becoming a world champion.
Awesome.
And you did. You got better. You faced it in Mexico. You got your first win. What was it feeling like to get that first win? You said we talked about getting into the ring, but how did it feel to get that first win, that first W on your pro record?
It was awesome, man. I hit the dude.
Really hard.
I didn't think it was gonna be that shot. I was planning this whole time to make it go to the second round.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
So,
only the second.
I'll give him to the second.
yeah,
That's
no,
it.
I'll be nice.
I wanted to get the feel of the pro
Yeah.
style,
Yeah.
the ring, and everything. But yeah, no, I hit him with the shot. I saw it, and
You saw it like he winced, or like you saw him kind of.
He clinched onto me, and I just made an angle, and I hit him with a straight right, and he went down, and I knew from there he wasn't getting up. But I felt it in my knuckle. I felt hit right in the temple, and the temple's probably the worst spot to get hit.
Yep.
Your
your
legs go out,
equilibrium.
and
Yeah.
They're done.
They're done. I saw him go down. He looked up at the ref. He was like, nah. And I was in the corner at this time, and they were recording. They were live. And I remember just laughing at the camera, like, I did it, like whatever, like just having a good time.
Yeah, no, I saw you. I saw you on the camera. Yeah, you were.
I was
elated.
Laughing. I was smiling, throwing my hands up, like I already knew I won.
Awesome.
And as soon as I saw the referee wave it off, I ran to the ropes. Jumped on the highest rope, and then I was just celebrating.
I'm going to go back and watch that. And I actually knew what you meant, too. Do you know what that means?
Oh, the punch.
It's like the 1-2.
1-2.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, I know what you're talking about.
Well, 2 is the other one, right? Not the one. and then
Opposite
there's a
of
2.
one, the other.
I know that much.
We're going to teach you.
Yeah. Well, I did box. I mentioned I did box. I boxed our deputy mayor. Yuma's deputy mayor.
Celebrity fight?
Yeah, it was like a celebrity boxing thing or whatever. I did it 3 rounds, 1 minute, and I lost, but whatever. I did it. Like I faced my fear. That was kind of cool.
Oh, I love that.
So I do know 1-2, and then.
Can you tell us your nickname again?
Rayito.
That's the next thing I wanted. That's
Oh,
perfect.
okay.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
say it.
So where did you get it? Explain it to us a little bit more.
It's actually pretty funny. So there's a fighter of the name Jose Rayo Valenzuela, and man, but lots of people at my gym, they say, "Oh, you look just like him. You look just like Rayo." Yeah, Rayo. And I was like, man, I don't see it. And then at this time, I didn't really know who he was. So they showed me a picture of him, and I was like, all right, I could kind of see it just because of the the goatee.
Oh, okay.
And he's light skinned like me too. And so one of the guys, Danny, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna start calling you Rayito. And at this time, I was like, man, I didn't like that name, right? But when it came down to you have to pick a nickname for your fight and everything, like you choose or not to have one or to have one. I was like, all right, they already called me it pretty much. So
they gave it to you.
Yeah,
they gave it to
I'll
you.
just
Yeah.
stick with it. Yeah, but it's a good name.
And what's it mean?
Little Lightning.
Little Lightning. And
Yeah,
you're
so-
like, I want to be Big Lightning.
I'm trying to be big.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what he said off air. He's like, I'm trying to be big lightning. So
Yeah.
little lightning, whatever, but big lightning,
Yeah.
that's what's coming.
Those are goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick, who is your favorite boxer? Let us know who your favorite boxer is
good
of all
question.
time.
Of all time is Canelo.
Canelo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know
I don't.
Canelo, and
Nobody yell at
you know
me.
what a 2 is?
Yes.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Canelo. So
Hey, we all have things we can improve.
yeah,
I'm going
no,
to
for
Google
sure.
him.
Yeah. I love boxing. Roy Jones was my favorite boxer. Watching him, I grew up watching him all the time. You ever watch any of his stuff?
Yeah, I watch. Like I said, I study boxing.
You study it, yeah. You know.
I like
I never
boxing,
studied school,
too.
but boxing I would study always.
That's
I still do
awesome.
to this day.
You know what I love about that is that shows the dedication. So my son is in football and he wants to do all these things, but he doesn't study it or like watch the videos.
Yeah, no, you have
you
to.
have to.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. So I have 3 fighters I like to learn from: Canelo, Bam, and Emiliano Vargas. So those 3 fighters I study the most, I believe.
That's awesome.
You study them and then you adapt
so-
your,
Yes.
your,
Yeah,
your
so-
okay.
And what I
So
like
smart.
to do is I pick a fighter every week, and I try to imitate their style that week. So like this week, I'll be all right. Let me try to fight like Canelo. Next week, all right. Let me try to fight like Bam. Let me use more footwork. Next week, all right. Let me use my jab more. They're just implementing different things into your game. So when the fight does come, you have all of it. You could adjust to any style, and it works.
That's great advice.
And you have a fight coming up, your second pro fight. Can you tell us where that's going to be and how people can find out more information about that?
Yeah, so they could find it on my Instagram page, 928_Romeo. It's going to be in San Luis, Mexico. And that'll be my second professional fight, and looking to get the knockout win again.
Yeah, and you don't even know your opponent
I
yet.
was just going to
right?
ask, who are you fighting?
Yeah, no. So we have a guy in mind. I'm pretty sure we've sent him like yeah, let's do it. Now we're just waiting for him to accept it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you were mentioning how it works. I didn't really know, but you want to pick the guy that's ranked the best so you can get your ranking up.
Yeah, correct.
So you're not trying to pad your record by just getting easy wins. You want to get that ranking
Yeah,
so you can get in that ring and get that championship
Yeah,
belt.
so I'm trying to. So I got 3 options this last time. So I picked the dude. I didn't even look at the records. I picked the guy with the highest ranking, but unfortunately, he got injured his last fight last Saturday, so he had to back out of that fight. So eventually, I was like, all right, let's do the guy with the second highest ranking, and once I beat him, I'll take his ranking, and then we could go up.
So yeah, I love
I
the
beat
confidence.
him.
Once you beat him, you're going to take his ranking.
You have to speak it.
And then
That's awesome.
you're going to work your way down the
it.
list and get into that number 1 spot. That's
Yeah.
what you're aiming for, that number 1 spot.
Right.
So again, where can people find more about you? And-
928_Romeo on both
Romeo.
Instagram and TikTok.
I like the
Okay.
name.
Yeah,
And I'm
thank
so
you.
glad your mom came.
Yeah,
I
she's
thought
over here in the
I
corner.
thought she'd be like a momager, but she's just watching you, and she's
Yeah.
in admiration.
Yeah,
and
no,
just,
they're very supportive.
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
friends.
well, thank you very much
So
for coming on. I
excited.
appreciate you, man. We're going to have you back after your
Yes.
next fight.
We'll
So
see what happens.
after you win
Oh, he's
that
gonna
one.
win. Yeah.
you're going to win. You're going to win. All right. Well, What's Up, Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez,
Thanks,
Anthony
Talon.
Arnales, Juan Garcia, and Dave Reek.
And you can find out more about KAWC at kawc.org, on Facebook at KAWC Radio, and on the KAWC app. And stay tuned following our program for KOFA Midday Music.
And our next program, we're going to be joined by Veronica Shore. She is the deputy director, I believe, of the Arizona Community Foundation. So
Awesome.
she'll
That's
be
Monday.
with us.
And you can listen to the podcast version of our program and past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio, and email us at whatsupyumaradio@kawc.org.
All right, there it is. Thanks you again for coming
Thank
on. We're going to
you.
get you back. Good
Yeah.
luck on that next fight, even though you don't need it.
What's Up Yuma with Johnny Porter is sponsored by Yuma Electric Service, LLC, serving the Yuma area for more than 25 years. YumaElectricServiceLLC.com.